Hi, and welcome back to our study on the Law of One by Ra, a humble messenger. This is a channeled piece, and as previously discussed, everything in here is written at PhD level and is in a question and answers format. So it does take me a while to prepare these videos because I've read these books, but there's a lot to digest, and then obviously to break it down to be able to discuss it with other people. So it helps me with my understanding as well, but it does mean that it takes a bit longer. So I do have notes. So I will keep going to the notes. So Ra, who are Ra? Well, as previously mentioned, the Ra sessions are a channeled piece and they began January the 15th, 1981. They are compiled into a book straight from the tape transcripts, and so everything in here is question and answers format. So if I can show you this one here, I don't know if you can see this. So it's all very much a questions and answers format. We'll start at session 6 next time. So anyway, so in the opening session, Ra introduces themselves in the very first session 1, both as I and we, and that's really important that we understand that from the get-go. A lot of people think initially that this is a contradictory statement. It isn't. I is used as the identifier for when the elected spokesperson for the Ra group is talking. So just I am Ra, okay? However, they use the term we are Ra when describing themselves as a social memory complex and group as a whole. Okay, so it's really important that you shouldn't differentiate really too deeply between them both. It's easier for them to nominate an identifier to be able to talk through Carla, who is the channeler. And then, so I am Ra. It's kind of like a formal introduction, and then they talk as we are Ra. Okay, so just to let people know who they are coming through. So yeah, neither are separate, both are the same, they are one, and so both are Ra. So Ra opens each session normally with sort of words like within love and light of our infinite creator, and will generally close with each session with and now go in peace, under the light and love of our infinite creator, or Adonai. Okay, so that's kind of the opening and closing statements. Sorry, I think my family's kind of a flu in this house. So Ra states that they are one, okay, and that all are one. That includes us. And that they are what our vibration, which means humans, would consider old. And they exist outside of time. Remember, time to them does not exist. It's a human-made construct, okay? So they exist outside of time. And that over the millennia, humans, our vibration, have given those who have come before to help us very specific titles, so Ra is Ra, okay? And other various names have been angels, demons, various god names, myths. It's all been associated to these travelers, or dentities that have come down to help us, all right? So this is how us as humans have perceived these otherworldly beings due to the fact they have magic abilities and stuff that we do not. They can move things by their mind. You imagine that being a very ancient, when the first humans, you see this entity that comes down. They don't really have a form. They're because they are vibration. They are energy, pure energy, and so you're looking at them sort of vibing in and out of the resonance that you can see. That looks very angelic like, it looks very magical like, and now these abilities to just think and things appear. All right, so hence the godlike and angelic like or demonic like status that we have given them over the years, and they've just gone with it because it's easier to go with how we perceive them and help us and work with us than to try sometimes and change our mindsets. There's better ways of changing mindsets than arguing over a name. Ra is Ra, simple as that. So Ra states their purpose in making contact is to guide humans towards removing the various distortions that prevent us from being in harmony with source energy, or the law of one. Okay, the Ra group made contact with the Egyptians, and other social memory complexes have done it around the world. Another famous one is down in South America with like the lost cities. So Ra states that the universe is infinite, okay, and that there is no end to what we call life, and our understanding and the journey that we're on. Okay, there's no end. It's infinite. Now, what we have to understand is that infinite is not many. People think, oh, infinite is such a long time. It's not a long time. It's not many, because as soon as you say something is long, or you say it's many, you've named it, and you've then given it like a number or an existence, and that can't be infinite. Infinite is infinite. The minute you name it or as a number, then it becomes finite. Okay, so infinite instead, Ra say that what you should be looking at is infinite for our understanding as unity. All right, an example Ra gives in this piece to Don and the other channelers, so they can understand it in very simple basic format, is a prism of light. So you know the light, we can't see the light, it shines into this prism, but then suddenly we see all the light, all the different colors displayed. So it's always been there, it's infinite. Okay, and that is a simple unity. Okay, they also state that in this bit we're talking about that there is no right or wrong, there's no polarity, all will be what it will be. But it is us as humans that have decided the rules or distortions to live and be governed by. And the whole idea of that is to make our time here an experience, because we are source energy experiencing itself through us. So think of it like a game that we need to be amused by, that source energy is amusing itself by. We've made these rules up, we're playing through it by a game, and it's a game of life. So we've got to get through this game, and we've set ourselves various challenges, various hurdles, various excitements for us to play by. So in reality, our density is human. Okay, so we are third level densities. We are everything, we are every being, we are everyone, we are every emotion, we are every event, and we are every situation at the same time. We are one. Okay, so we are already unity, we are already infinity, and we are already the law of one. But by coming here, what we have done is we have gone through what's known as the vow of forgetting. Now, in witchcraft, we talk about the vow a lot. We travel through the veil. We can't see through the veil. We need wisdom to see through the veil. It's the same when we talk about crossing the abyss to get more knowledge. And it can really mess people up, because it's like it's a huge spiritual awakening. You know, we chose to have a veil of forgetting. And by doing these deeper dives, we are stripping away that veil and slowly seeing who we truly are. And some people just can't handle that, and they go into very much a spiritual psychosis. Now, the name Ra. So this is kind of where I'm going to leave it, because this is already like a 9-minute video. So Ra talks about contacting the pharaoh Amon. I'm really not really good with Egyptian names, so Ammon, I think it's Ammon, Ammon, Ammon. So Ammon was a wanderer, and they changed their instrument name, or human name, so instrument name as Ra calls it, to Aton, to honour the sun disk, as they felt their previous Ammon name reflected the many gods that were being worshipped at the time, whereas Aton, and being a sun disk, that would felt like more of a one god approach. And they said that this instrument or entity became convinced that the vibration of oneness, having just one God, not multiple pantheon, was in fact the true spiritual vibration, and decreed all of Egypt to follow oneness, or we're going to call it the law of one for simplicity here. And so that's why Ra contacted that pharaoh. That's where the name Ra comes from, because they felt they could, although it wasn't the same as the law of one that they knew as a high level density than us, by human standards it was pretty close. We were getting towards and much closer towards source energy. So they felt this was the right time to make contact. They made contact with the pharaoh, and all was good for a while. However, as we know, that didn't exist, and once he died, the priests and that reverted straight back to the many pantheons, or the old ways of Egypt. And they said that later on there was a situation where Muhammad came and tried to also deliver a very similar message of oneness and unity. That may be controversial to some people. I'm just stating what's in the book. Obviously, these are just my beliefs as well. Take what you need from it. If you want to take it all, take it all. If not, just take what you need. All right. So this is where we are so far of the Law of One. And the next one is session 6. Let's have a quick look at session 6. And session 6 is January the 24th, 1981. And in that, it looks like this is when they discuss energy healing. So that's what we'll be working on next. So we will be going back and forwards, because I have to go in. I'm trying to break it down through the sessions that Don was asking. And so Don does go backwards and forwards. So sometimes it may feel a bit repetitive, but I'm trying my best here to get through this book. And then we have another 3 volumes to get through. And then at the end of all this, I do have Carla's very much abbreviated version. I think it's almost like the Law of One for Dummies. It isn't called that, but if you imagine that, the Law of One for Dummies. And I'll be going through that as well to see if we can tease out a few more bits for us all. If you've got any questions that you want answered about this, or you want me to look very specifically at, please do message me and under the video, and I will try my best to help you out with this. Have a lovely day. Bye.